Hey there everyone, and welcome to another Live2D tutorial. We're going to go into how to make special poses. These are on and off toggles for your face rig. So if you can imagine having a button, say for example maybe your character has a hat or a certain kind of facial expression for more advanced users, you'd be able to toggle it on and off whenever you want. To briefly explain the differences between a special action and a special pose, a special action is an animation that plays out from beginning to end, and once it reaches the end, the face rig defaults back to your usual facial recognition state. While special poses, you can press a button or a shortcut to turn on something, whether it's a facial expression or an accessory, whatever you want, to stay active for as long as you want. It can stay on during the duration of you using your face rig until you decide to turn it off. It's an on and off switch, effectively. We're going to start off with something very basic. I'll go into more elaborate on and off toggles like facial expressions another time. But firstly, we're going to look into these folders here, the ones that we didn't check out previously. Let's unhide the blush. I'm actually going to rename this because I forgot to do that. Again, if you want to rename something, go into the inspector window, click on the name field and type in whatever you want. I'm going to call this blush, then press enter. We're going to make a new parameter. Down here, you got something that says new parameter. Click on it and name your parameter blush. I tend to call my ID param underscore blush. This is important because you need to input that ID in your notepad file that we did previously. Then for the ranges here, input 0.0 and on the maximum 1.0. So you now made a parameter, it's all the way down here. Drag it wherever you want it to be. I would recommend making a folder for your on and off toggles to keep things organized. So just click on the folder icon, drag your parameter into the folder, and press the folder icon, and you can see it. Again, we can rename the folder to, and I'm going to call these expressions. So now we have the blush parameter made. Make sure that your blush object here is highlighted, and make sure your blush parameter is also highlighted. Click on add to keyforms. So your off toggle will be on this keyform and your on toggle will be on the right keyform. Make sure that you've highlighted the off keyform toggle. Check out your inspector window and bring this all the way down to 0. As you can see, we've now made a fade in and out effect. So effectively, we've made an on and off toggle for the blush effect. However, when we move our head, the blush is not moving with the head. So to fix this, all we have to do is select our warp deformer for blush and drag it into the warp face deformer. And as you can see, it is now following the movement of the face. Now, of course, as we can see, when we turn our head to the left, the blush is a bit too far to the left. So for this, we need to highlight the warp deformer for blush and then make 3 keyforms. And this is just a simple case of adjusting to how you like it to be. So for me, I think I might just bring it back a little bit. Do the same over here. That seems fine, up and down. I think this might actually need to be squished a little bit more. And after we've done the edits on the left, right, up and down motions, go on synthesize corners Make any edits if you feel it needs editing. Synthesized corners can be really useful in certain circumstances, but if you're not happy with the way something is looking, always go in and edit it yourself. It can sometimes give you a bit of a head start, of course, into editing the things that you want to edit. If you're not too happy with the placement of the blush, because it's currently overlapping the eyes, you can drag the blush folder and put it behind the eyes folders. And as you can see, the blush has been placed behind the eyes. It's really personal preference. It's up to you whether or not you want it to be behind the eyes or not, but I'm going to keep it behind myself. And there we go. We got ourselves a blush toggle for our FaceRig. So we're going to go through this again. I'm going to unhide my hearts. We're going to do the same thing again. Make a new parameter. Call it hearts. Param hearts. 0.0. 1.0. Drag your parameter up to the folder. We're going to highlight all these hearts and add 2 keyforms to this parameter. Make sure that the off toggle keyform is selected and bring down the opacity to 0. So we've got an on and off toggle. It's actually not doing too bad when you test this out because it's within the warp deformer for the main body, but I don't think I like the squish too much. I think it's a little bit too exaggerated and it doesn't seem as varied in movement. I think I wanted it to move a little bit more independently. What I'm going to try is dragging and dropping the warp deformer for the hearts into the head deformer. And as you can see, it's not squishing anymore, but it's following the motion of the head we put in place. We have a lot of freedom as to what we can do with these hearts. I'd still like there to be some kind of movement, additional movement for the hearts, because it looks very stationary right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can leave it like that if you want, but I kind of like the idea of maybe deforming them a little bit. So of course, if you want to do that, we need to make more keyforms for them. So we have to go on add free keyforms on the angle X and Y. And then we can deform them the way we want them to when it looks up and down, left and right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Worth noting that you can highlight points if you go left click and drag. And you can drag, you have to be careful though of course, but you can drag them like this if you want. There is a little bit of a curve going on. Alright, so I have all the motion in place for the hearts. Go on synthesize corners. There we go, that seems to have translated pretty well. Now, if you wanted to make the hearts a little bit more less uniform, so they're not kind of like stuck in one place, we could effectively highlight all of the pieces, create keyforms with the X and Y parameters. So we could go into every individual heart and maybe make them bop up and down a little bit. So yeah, that's an example anyway of varying up the movements for the head parameters and your emotion toggles. Of course, I'm going to have to do that to the other side, but I'm going to most likely time-lapse all of this so we can move on to the next part, which is to get this into FaceRig. So bear with me. Okay, finally, we've done it. This is the end result of the hearts that I've edited. So of course, if you already have a version of this FaceRig, you have to delete the files again and re-export it. So the easiest way I go about doing this is to just delete the original FaceRig files that you had previously, get rid of the texture file too, so that you only have the motions file and the CFG file. Then we just go on File, Export as Mark3 file. Okay, so locate your FaceRig folder. Make sure that the name is the same. Then save. Now we have our new updated FaceRig. Click on your CFG file, and this is where the parameter name comes in. If you can't remember your parameter name, all you have to do is click on the special pose parameter, right click, and edit parameter. This is what you need to input into the CFG file. So you may as well just highlight it, copy, go back to your CFG file, and paste it between the apostrophes. Since we've got another one as well, we've got the hearts, you need to copy and paste the same line of code. Again, if you can't remember what it is, feel free to check it here. Ram hearts, and paste it here. And don't forget to change this number here to the number 2, so it designates it to another shortcut. And save! That should be now part of your rig. Of course, we have to go through the usual method, which is copy the new FaceRig file that you've made and put it into the FaceRig software files. If you're not sure how to do that, we've covered this in a previous video, so be sure to check that out. Okay, now we're back in FaceRig. Make sure, again, that you have inputted your shortcut keys for this to work. You've got special pose 1, pose 2, pose 3, pose 4, and you now have pose 5, pose 6, and pose 7, pose 8. So just to further explain what we did with the CFG file, we have told it to use the special pose 1 shortcut. So like I say, be sure to input a shortcut of your choosing for special pose 1. And since we got another special pose, which we programmed to be 2, this is special pose 2. So make sure that you've inputted a shortcut for that as well. I've already got it done, so let's see how it looks. This is the blush. And this is the hearts. What's great about the toggles is that you can actually put them on top of each other too. So I can blush as well as use the hearts at the same time. I love it, it's really cool. I quite like how the hearts move and everything. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in learning how to do on and off toggles for Live2D models for use in FaceRig. Thank you all so much for watching my tutorials, guys. I hope that it has been helpful in making your own FaceRigs out there. Be sure to comment in the comments below if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content in the future. And like the video so that I know that you liked it and it has helped you in some way. I've been really enjoying it, honestly. It's been cool to be able to create content for you guys that can help you in some way, because when I started out doing FaceRigs and Live2D, there was very little information out there for me to refer to, and I really tried my best to make this as easy to follow as possible. So yeah, in the meantime guys, just thank you again so much for checking out my videos, and I hope to have some more tutorials for you in the very near future. If you want to talk to me more directly, I do have a Twitch channel. I stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I do art streams on Saturday and Sunday, as well as my stuff for art streams. I also play video games on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday if you're interested in that. Feel free to come and chat, and if you have any questions, you can even ask the questions there if you want. But for now, take care. Bye guys, see you later.